Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Today, we're going to talk about how to make a CMA. And does anybody know what a CMA is?
Comparative market analysis.
Yes. Comparative market analysis, comparable market analysis. You could use either or. I think there's no two people that use the same words for it. But who knows what the purpose of a CMA is for?
To come up with the approximate range of pricing for the client to get some sense of it before the actual exact number.
Yeah, so there's a couple of reasons. That's one of them. It's to come up with a suggested list price for the seller, right? That's going to sell the property. But also when you're working with the buyer, and there's going to be times when the buyer's going to ask you, "Hey, what do you think I should offer? What's a good, what would be a good price for this? I don't want to overpay, and I don't want to, underbid where they're just going to laugh at my offer." So you would use the same, I guess, set of instructions of what we're going to do here to come up with suggested market price for that property, and then let them decide how much. Knowing this, how much do you want to offer, right? So we would use this for sellers and for buyers. We mostly use it for sellers, but again, some people will use it for buyers. So the first thing that we want to do is, let me go into the MLS. Actually, let me pull this up here. The first thing we want to do is obtain a property profile and pull up the realist tax report. I'm not going to pull up the property profile, but that's something that you can obtain from the title company. So you can reach out to Mary Block with Lawyers Title and ask her for a title profile. And the title profile tells you who the owner of the property is, and that you're doing a CMA because you've scheduled an appointment to meet with a potential seller, right? To present your findings, your suggested list price, sell yourself and your services as to what you're going to do for them to sell their house, right? So they can sign with you. So you want to make sure that you are talking to the right person, the owner of the property, the person that can sign on behalf of that property.
Carlos, can you do it like before you have the listing? If you
Oh yeah. So this is
idea that you may have a listing.
Yeah. So that's what this is for.
Yeah.
So maybe you're talking to somebody and you want to get ahead of it, and you want to pull up the property profile. You can also pull up the realist tax report.
Yeah.
And compare the two. I think that the property profile through the title company is going to have more accurate information, because it's going to have all the documentation, any deeds, any things like that, right? Just language as to who can sign on behalf of the property. And so that's what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do. In this example, we're not, like I said, we're not going to pull up a property profile, but I am going to show you how you can pull up the tax record for the property. So when you're logged into the MLS in the dashboard here, you're going to click on Realist Tax. And I think the first time you click on this, it might make you set it up. I'm not sure. But it takes you to this, and then you're going to click. No, I don't want to take a survey. You're going to click on Search up at the top. And then you're going to have the property address handy. So what we're going to do is, I have a couple of examples that I'm going to use here. So I'll use this first example. So I have two subject properties that I'm going to be using as examples for CMAs. And what I did is I went back to 2020 to look at properties that sold in the month of June, one in Irvine, one in the city of Orange, and I just picked one.
Yeah.
So whether those have sold since then or not, it doesn't matter. We're using the properties themselves, trying to evaluate them. So in this example, I'm going to use 3339 East Hammond Circle, Unit D. Right there. I'm going to select it from the list and click on Search. It's going to give me a few different ones, so I have to make sure I pick the right one, so I could slide this over and then click on the one that I want, and then click on Report. Here it's going to give me the characteristics of the property. It's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, 1,370 square feet. That's a pretty big lot. I like that. And then the last time, this just sold last year, so we're not going to use that price at all. And it was built And is that 86?
96.
96? Yeah, okay. I need my reading glasses. Okay, so here's the owner's name. Actually names two owners. There's one, let's see, and two right there.
Does it usually come with the last name first?
The first one does. Actually, they both do.
Yeah.
Yes, last name first and their first name last. And then when you look at the male owner name, then it has the correct first name and last name. And let's see. All right. Okay, so now we know who the owners are. So
Yeah.
hopefully we are talking to the correct people.
Mhm.
We're gonna print this out just to have it on hand. And then let's go back to this PDF here. You're gonna log into the MLS and search for a previous listing of the subject property. So in this example, I'm gonna go into the MLS. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna type in the property address up here at the top. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna, because there's a unit number, there might be too many of them. I'm just gonna search by AP number. So I can go to residential detail. And then type in the AP number right here, parcel number. And that is gonna be 939-21412. And then click results. And it's gonna show me anytime this property's ever been on the market in the MLS. So this is the one that I pulled up initially, but let's use the most recent one, which is this one up here. This one was sold in 2025. And I'm also gonna print this out to have it handy for, just for informational purposes, for when I'm looking for comps. I wanna look at homes that are around 3 bedrooms, around 1370 square feet. You're probably not gonna find something with the exact lot size, but similar, right? Similar neighborhood. It shows you where the property is located here. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna look within this area here, in this loop, whatever that is, to find more comparable properties.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go to the next step here. We're gonna search for recent sales along with pending active listings in the area. Why do we want recent sales? Because we want to come up with a suggested list price based on, this is evidence, hey, this is how much your property can sell for based on these recent sales. Why are we looking for actives and pendings? Because we want to see what their competition is on the currently on the market. We also want to see how they're priced, and we also want to see what the days on market are. And so there's a saying that I've been hearing that I really like that says, "Words talk, but numbers scream." Have you guys heard that? Words talk, but numbers scream. So words, you can say whatever you want to say, and it just doesn't mean anything, right?
Right.
I mean, whatever it means. But numbers, you can't argue with numbers, right? If it's a stat, it's because it was research. It's because it's the final sales price, days on the market. Hey, this is how many days it took to sell the property. So numbers scream. So numbers tell the truth in most cases. So that's exactly how we're going to use it. We're going to use the numbers to tell a story. So now we're going to go into the MLS, search residential detail. I'm going to look for active under contract, pending, and closed. This goes back 6 months. I'll leave it at 6 months. If there's too many results, I'll bring it back to 3 months.
Okay.
And this is a single family. This is actually a townhouse. So I'm just going to leave that alone as far as property type, because some people will label it as single family, some will label it as townhouse, some might even label it as condo. So I don't want to exclude anything. And this property is attached, so I'm not going to put anything there either for attached or detached. But what I do want to do is I want to say this is going to be in Orange County. This property is in the city of Orange. So you can either type it in or select it from the list. I'm not going to select the area because I'm going to select the area in the map. And then we're going to go to the third column here. We're going to leave the price alone. We're not doing anything with prices. This is a 3-bedroom property. So we're gonna say, show us any 3 bedrooms that have sold and in the last 6 months and square footage. So this property is 1450 square feet, so we can go a couple hundred square feet less and a couple hundred square feet more to use those comparable properties. So let's say 1250 to 1650. It's a pretty good range. And that gives us 81 properties you see down at the bottom. But the next thing I want to do is I want to click on map. You can either click map at the top or map at the bottom. It's up to you. It's there. I'm going to click on map. And what I want to do is I'm in the jump to address section, I'm going to type in the property address. Circle, Orange, California. Okay, so it pins where the property is located. So that makes it easier for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the polygon tool right here, click on it once, and then I'm going to start drawing, click, 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 click. Every stop that I'm making here is a click. Well, come on, how'd it go? Sorry, my mouse is acting up. I want to try to find homes, comparable properties in this neighborhood here. Because most likely they're going to be similar properties. And I'm going to click on results. So these are all 3-bedroom properties. And they're within the same square footage. And one is active. It's actually on the market for less money. And then we have 2 sales. The 2 sales are 920 and 935. And they are condos. Why are the condos selling for more than the townhouse? I don't get it. The townhouse is bigger. And I don't think that the 16,000 is the square footage for the property itself. I think it's just for the
Wrong info.
No, it's just for sometimes it might be like the whole tract or tract of homes or a bundle of homes. So the lot is not that big for this property. So this is the one that's on the market. This has been on the market for 14 days. Let's go to the next one. This property sold in 7 days. Wow. And it sold above list price. Nice. This is the actual list price here. And this is the sold price. Let's go to the next one. Wow. It sold above list price. 10 days on the market. Wow. Okay. This tells us a lot.
Yeah.
These are both 1996. They're all built in 1996. So I'm wondering why this one is priced lower. Well, you know what? This is priced the same way as the other ones were priced. 865, 899, 899. So it's a little bit lower than the others were listed at. So I understand what they were trying to do. List it lower so you can get like a bidding war going.
Yeah.
But it's been on the market for 14 days. This is kind of tricky. But what we're going to do is we're going to present the evidence, right? Let's see if we can go a little bit outside the area and find anything else. So let me go into this neighborhood here. Let me add that and see. So I'm just adding another shape. Nope, there's nothing in there because nothing came up. So let me just delete that shape. That's it. Let's add this whole area. See what's going on over here. Oh, nothing. Okay. So I guess for right now, this is what we're going to go off of. We have 2 sales, 2 recent sales, and one that's active on the market. I think that's okay. Right? The good thing is that there's only one active on the market that's competition, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we're going to click on results to look at the summary. Actually, agent 1 line displays what we want. And so this is it. So the next steps we're going to take is stay on here. Click on results to view the comps, select the comps that you want to use for the CMA, and then we're going to click on Cloud CMA. So we want all three of these, we're going to select them. If there was a list of 10 of them and you only wanted to use 5, you're only going to select the 5 that you want to use. In this case, we're going to use all of them, and we're going to click on Cloud CMA. And when you click on Cloud CMA for the first time, it's going to make you create a login and then update your profile or create your profile, maybe upload your picture, contact information, that type of thing.
Hey, Carlos, I have a question.
Yes.
Hey, so do you have any recommend how actually many listings to compare here, like a maximum number? Right now, you use example as a 3, but the more we include, the more the CMA report will be bigger, right?
The more you include isn't always better, because unless they're all about the same price, and in that case, why are you going to include so many if they're all around the same price? All you need is a few, right? So there's no exact number as to how many are the best number to use. You use what's available, what's in the area, and then there might be situations where there's no comps in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to go back a year to see what they sold for, or you might have to go maybe further out radius wise to find a comparable property, because there's nothing that matches in that neighborhood. So you're going to go a little further out and find something that's similar to it, even though it's not the same neighborhood, and then use that as a comp. So there's a few different things that you can do. Another thing you can do is you can use the same square footage range, but remove the number of bedrooms. Because in this case, we're looking for 3 bedrooms, 3-bedroom matches. But what if there's a 4-bedroom that has the same square footage? Maybe this is a 3-bedroom and a den, right? Maybe this is a 3-bedroom and a loft.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't look too close into it, but that could be the difference. Maybe you can look for 3 to 4-bedroom properties, and then you'll find some comps. In this example, let me look to the description here, because it might say there's a loft or office or den or something. So here it says additional bedrooms are spacious, and the barn doors to the office add a fresh charm. So I don't know if the office is a 4th bedroom. They don't say, because typically they'll say 3 bedrooms and an office, and they'll put that in the description.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to help you sell the property, because it's going to be a 4th bedroom. So maybe we look at 3 to 4 bedroom properties.
Carlos, what if the property has like a lot of land, like for horses and stuff like that? Does that factor into?
Well, you're going to compare that to other properties that have like a bigger lot, and it's a horse property. Usually they're around the same area, so you should have some comps for that. And some are going to have bigger lots than others. And sometimes the lot comes into effect. I don't know how much. I don't think there's a specific formula that tells you, hey, this one's 10,000 square feet and this one's 12,000 square foot lot, or 15 and 17. I don't know if there's a formula that tells you, how much you can increase the price by, because the house might be worth more money on the 10,000 square foot one than the one on the 12,000 square foot property. So now, what's worth more?
Yeah.
So there's no exact formula. It's just you have to price it accordingly, I guess.
So lot size doesn't necessarily directly affect your pricing, but
it can, if both houses are exactly the same. One has a bigger lot, that might be worth more because it has a bigger lot, and you're comparing the exact same house, right? Because you want a bigger backyard.
Yeah.
So in that situation, it can, but in the situation, like I said before, where the smaller lot has a better house, full of upgrades, where the bigger lot house has no upgrades, it's all original. So, all right, so here for title, we're gonna say the owner's name, which in this case, I forgot what the owner's name is. Let's see. Yeah, let's copy that. You go in here and paste it. And Property address is going to be 3339 East Circle 1370. That is not the property. Circle in the D. Oh, sorry, 121. Am I looking at the right property? Yeah, this is the right property. Let me delete that. 9. D. Okay, unit D. Circle. So you have to wait for it to come up on the list here. And then you select it from the list. But it's not coming up, so.
Yeah, because there, I also found, like, like if there's multiple units, sometimes it doesn't show the exact property.
So 3339. I'm just gonna select this for right now, then I'm gonna update the information. So this is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's 2.5 baths. And I don't think it lets you, oh, it does, okay. And then the square footage is gonna be 1450, right? And that's it. And then you're gonna notice down here are the MLS numbers of the properties it's gonna import into this report. So now that we added the property information, subject property information, we're gonna click on fetch listings. And if you have a photo of the property, you can add it here. Fetch listings, it's gonna pull the information from the MLS. It's gonna show you a map of where those properties are located around the subject property. And then here you can type in a suggested list price. I don't like to enter that in because you want to get a feel for when you're the listing presentation or listing appointment with the seller, what their thoughts are on listing the property. And you haven't seen the property in person, so how can you tell them this is how much, without looking at the house, your home is worth, right? So I would leave this blank, come in with an idea of how much you're thinking you can list for, and then look at the property, and then you can kind of finite the price, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it shows us the properties here. We're gonna click on Customize Report. And the first time you log into this, it's gonna have all of these pages. See all the plus? All of these pages are gonna be in the report. So that's a lot of pages. And they're all gonna be on this side over here. So what I did was I went ahead and printed the PDF with all of the pages. And then I went through and decided which pages I want to keep and which ones I don't want to keep, right? So if you don't want one of the pages, you just hover over and click the minus, and it moves it back over to this left column. This is a lot of pages. You don't want this many pages for your report because you don't want them to be reading a book or fall asleep reading, right? You want to give them the information that they need,
right,
to make that decision. So now that I selected which pages I want, there's also themes. You can click on a theme. I like this black and blue. It's closer to our colors, but there's different colors if you want to use a different color. And select the theme. And once you select the theme, I think you should be good with that. Unless you want to, experiment with these templates and layouts and things like that. I'm going to leave it alone and click on Publish Report. And this is creating the CMA presentation as a PDF and also as a live view. If you wanted to just give your presentation on your tablet or something or your laptop and click on pages to come up, you can do that. I like to print out the PDF, give them a copy and leave it with them so they can compare it, have time to look at it. So this is what the PDF looks like, the CMA. It's got the owner's name, the property address. It's got a bird's eye view of the property in the neighborhood. If you had a picture of the property, exterior picture, you could put that in there. my photo, my name, company, my contact information. Look at that. Scary Movie 3 right there. And comparable listings, and well, not just listings, just the property in general located on the map, showing them where the property is located, right? In comparison to the property. So summary of comparable properties. Let me zoom into this. So it gives you information or a little summary of what the sold listings sold for, sold date, bedrooms, bathrooms, price. This one, yeah, price per square foot, sold price, square footage, all that stuff, right? This is an important number too because the price per square foot, it's going to give you an average. You can use that average to come up with a suggested list price. But in this case, it's going to be pretty high because these sold pretty high in comparison to how they listed. So if I was going to go in and list it at, nine, let's say nine, somewhere between these two, let's say 925. Yeah. If I'm going to list it at 925, I'm probably not going to get this. I think you might have people lowballing or something. I don't know, something, right? Because the way these people listed it, I like what they did. They listed it low and they got a higher price. Right. And you have to try to convince the seller, hey, even though this is what it says that they sold for, this strategy worked. Right. Let's use that strategy. For other neighborhoods, it might not work. We might have to come in at market price. But in this neighborhood, it looks like it works. So why mess with it? This is the average square footage. And it shows you the summary of the active listing. Here's a property address, number of beds, baths, square footage, and list price. And average price per square foot, which is a lot less. But again, we don't know what it's going to close for. It might close for somewhere close to here, maybe 920, maybe 900,000, who knows? So let's go to the next page. These are the pages I selected. Again, there's going to be tons of pages for you to select from. I think these are the most important ones for me. So you also want to show them what the properties look like. So I selected the listing detail listings or listing detail pages with all the photos. So it has all the information on the properties. So it tells you bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, all the different features on it. There's remarks. I think this is like the property description that the agent added to the MLS. And then here's all the pictures. Because when you're pricing it and your potential client's house is all original, no upgrades, and they think they can get what this person got for their house, this is how you can show them, look at everything they did to their house without telling them, you didn't do anything to your house, you're not going to get it. But you can highlight, look at this, all new wood flooring, look at that, scraped ceilings. Maybe they have newer dual pane windows. They have, all these great features to the property. That's why they got, that price. And this is a nice way of telling them, hey, you haven't done anything to your home, so don't expect this. But I think they'll put 2 plus 2 together and realize, okay, my home doesn't look like that, right? And so then you go to the next one. Oh, this is the same one, or is it different? Okay, here's the next one. And then is this the active one or the sold one? This is the active one.
Above one is another.
Yeah.
This is open.
Okay, so this is the other active listing.
But this is closed, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, closed listing, and it shows you, oh wow, look how wonderful it is, look what they did to it, blah, blah, blah. And then what the active listing looks like, and the features, the description, and then the pictures.
Okay.
Right, so.
Kitchen looks a little bit outdated.
Yeah, right. It's older. Yeah, look at this, the lights and everything. It's older, so that's probably why they priced it the way they did. Look at this, is this the garage?
I think so, okay, it's correct.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good. So, I mean, it could be, but they priced it around what the other ones priced it at, a little bit lower, but still. So analysis here. So average sold price is $927,500. Average price per square foot, $638. Average days on market based on that information is 90 days. 9 days. Wow. Active listing, there's only one. The average is whatever the list price is on that, and the average price per square foot. And this is pretty low. Average days on market, 3. I thought it was on the market for 2 weeks. Didn't we see that?
Yeah, 14 days.
Yeah, well, I don't know why it's saying 3 days.
Might be
This
error.
is not correct.
Yeah,
Let me go back to that listing. Actually, go here.
yeah, 14 days.
14 days. Why does it say 3? That's not right. This thing is always good. For me, I've never seen it make a mistake like that. Yeah, who knows what it is. But so here it tells you that the average sold price is 103% of the list price, which is good. Average price per square foot is this. So you have a few options here. You can come in and tell the seller, look, we can price it the way they priced it and hopefully get the same result, over 900,000 for it. Or you could say we can list it at 900 and whatever the average price is, sold price is, and then it might sit on the market longer. But these are conversations you're gonna have with the seller. It might sit on the market longer. You might not have as many offers. You might not have as many people visit the open house. We don't know, but we know that this worked. So how do you want to play it? Right?
Usually, but at least at a lower price, get a lot of multiple offerings is always better.
Yeah, right. We have an example of that. We have Holden who's been listing his properties below market, well below market. He's getting he's getting a lot of offers, and he's getting way more than they thought they were going to get for these properties. So it's working. It's weird that right now that's happening, and we see it in another example of that here. So another thing you could do is, since we're on this property, where's the tax record? Right here. Another thing you could do here on the tax record is just compare what price do you think, how much do you think we should list this at? Or how much do you think they can get for it based on the sales?
Probably this, I mean, is it upgraded or renovated?
Let's say it looks like those houses.
Like maybe 850, I would say. Listed 850, and then
how much do you think they could sell for?
And then probably hopefully like 900,000 ish or
okay. Let's say 920. Okay, let's do 915, 920. So the tax records, they have an estimated value. I don't know what they called it, AVR or something like that. AVM. Okay. And they think that this is how much you can list it for or sell it for, which is close to 900,000.
Yeah.
And then this is the range. So the range is good, but I would go a little bit above 900,000 for that. So they kind of have a good idea of how much you can sell it for. Another way you can compare this is, which has pretty good numbers, is if you go back to the MLS, let's go back to the homepage, and use Realtor Property Resource. There's a link right there under external links. You click on that, and I'm going to enter the parcel number for this. Okay, because with unit numbers, sometimes it doesn't find it, but it's 939. This is it right here. And then, so it's going to show me this property here. I'm going to click on it. And right here, it tells me what it thinks it's worth, which is strange.
A little lower range.
It is. Maybe this is what you can list it at. I don't know. I would list it higher than this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like this number. Usually it has pretty good numbers, but I don't like this number here. But that's why we do the research, right? These algorithms, the Zestimate, these AV, what is it? AV what? AVM valuations. They use algorithms that search maybe a certain radius, maybe a mile around the property, and they look for 3-bedroom properties that are, about the same square footage, whether it's a condo, townhome, or single family, and they just come up with the price based on that. They're not looking for properties like we are, being more selective and more similar type properties. So they're not going to be right. It's funny that the tax records are pretty on point. Like as far as the range is concerned, it's way better than this one. But like I said, usually this has a better number, but I don't like that number. So
Well, with the tax records, don't appraisers go out there and all that? Or
yeah, but they're not. It's not appraisers. It's the assessors. They go out there. Yeah. But when was the last time they assessed it? Right. So I don't think that they're the ones that set that number. Any questions on this example? So the other CMA you can use is this the live view. So instead of printing out the PDF, you can have your tablet or your laptop open and show your agent resume and then talk about our company. And then what is a CMA? This is what a CMA is. It's compares properties and values and blah, blah, blah. And then the smartest way to sell your home. This has, I think, more pages than you want. Then you can compare the properties side by side. Right. And then if I want, hey, let's look at the pictures on this one. I'm going to click there. And then we're going to see all the pictures on this one. Right. And then I'm going to go back. Hey, let's look at the pictures for this one. And then you're going to show them all the pictures and so forth. And this is what it's sold for. And then I think you can even blow up the pictures. So like, just go through the pictures this way. And then you're going to go to the next property, and average pricing. So then you're going to have all this. So pretty much everything you had on the PDF, but a little different looking. Yeah, so you can go this route, if you want to do that. But again, I like the PDF printed out in color, nice, right? Leave it there with them. Let me close that. The next property I wanted to do is property in Irvine. So let's go to the tax records. And search. Let's clear all. And then this property is going to be 14 Woodfern, unit 121. Search. And then, so this is the property here. It last sold in 2022 for $745. This is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, almost 1,100 square foot property. It's a condo. And these are the owners, or one owner. Okay. And let's see. So we're going to make sure that we are talking to the right person when we're taking the call. Now that we know the address, we know the characteristics of the property, now we can find comparable properties, comparable sales. So again, we're going to go to search, residential detail. We're going to click active under contract, pending and closed. We're going to leave that 0 to 180 days in there. I'm going to leave the, let's do condo. Let's just select condo, see what happens here. Condo. I'm going to leave the rest alone there. We're going to go to the middle column, Orange County. This is Irvine. So you can go even further and select the area. So this is Woodbridge. The reason why I don't like using this and narrowing it out further is because there's a lot of agents that just don't know what they're doing when they're entering a listing into the MLS. A lot of listing agents. And they might enter a listing and select a totally different area. So when you're looking for sales in that area, even though that sale is in that area, it's not going to show it in your results because the area is something else, right? Or even the tract. So like if I were to say, this is in Woodbridge, and then there's different tracts within Woodbridge. And if they select the wrong tract, then it's not going to come up in your search, in your results. So even though this is awesome, I don't like to use that. I just like to do the city, and then I'm going to do bedrooms. Let's look for it. That's interesting. The tax record showed that it was 1,098 square feet, and the old listing showed me that it was 1,125 square feet. That's very interesting. Okay, so let's say it's 900 square feet through, I don't know, say 1,300 square feet. So a couple hundred less, couple hundred more, and I'm going to click on map. And it shows me everything in Irvine, right? So what you can do is you can either type the address up here and then do like within a quarter-mile radius or half a mile, whatever it is. I'm just going to do it in the map. Type in the address here. This is 14 Irvine, unit 121, Irvine, California. You just enter. It's going to take me to that property. So I'm going to zoom out, and there's two sales in this neighborhood. And let's see what those sales are. And are they even similar to that? Two bedrooms, two baths, two bedrooms, two baths. 917 square feet. Something to keep in mind is that the smaller the house is, the more per square foot it's going to sell for. The bigger the house is, the less per square foot it's going to sell for. It just works that way. But, let's look up here. This one is, okay. It's not even the price that I want. I like the prices over here better. 730, 730. So I don't see anything that's on the market in here. Let me see these. 715. You might be able to use this too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select everything on this side of the street. Here. And again, there might be different tracks, and we'll see right now with the results. So let's go up to results. And you're going to notice that they're both in Woodbridge. All three of them are in Woodbridge. And let's see if they're the same tract. This is Woodbridge Park Vista. The next one is Woodbridge Park Vista, okay? And okay, Woodbridge Park Vista. So they're all the same tract. And this one is Somerset. So there's no comparable property sale in Somerset. So this is all we have to go by. I'm going to use these. I like these. And what we're going to do is we're going to select all three of them. 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms. Square footage is probably 100 square feet less than the subject property. Built in 1980, just like the subject property. It's a condo. 92 days on the market. Wow. List price 700. They probably reduced the price at some point. That's why it says, yeah, because it says so original price. Okay, that was the original price up there. All right, let me go to one line display. And say I'm going to use all three of these. I like these. There's no active listings. There's no listings under contract. So we're just going to select those and click on Cloud CMA. And then here, I'm going to put the owner's name. And the property address. And if you don't see it come up with the unit number, I would just type it in and just leave it and then add Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
That's it. But this is 1.5 baths. So I'm adding the half. And then here's the comps that it's bringing in, the recent sales. And I'm going to click on fetch listings. But I would question the seller if they know anything about the square footage, because the last listing showed 1125 square feet on this property. So maybe it says for the assessor. I don't know if the A is for assessor or appraiser. Maybe an appraiser, could be an appraiser. All right, so it shows us the subject property in blue, pinned in blue, and then the comparable properties here. Where's the other one? It's supposed to be 3, right?
Yeah.
It might be too close to each other in there.
Yeah, maybe right next to second.
Yeah. Yeah, and, 92 and 92.
Right.
Wait a minute, it's in there twice. And 34. This is 34. Huh. Were they the same property? Let's look. This is number 34. Oh no, this is Echo Run, Clearbrook.
Yeah, because you're gonna run this in 50K.
Okay, yeah, these are different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so customize report. And then within this next page, I don't have to do anything because I already selected the pages that I want to use. And just click publish report. And give it a minute here. And we're gonna click on the view PDF. Again, the owner's name, property address, a map of the properties, little summary. Let's zoom in here. This is average square feet, average sold price, average price per square foot. And so your average price per square foot might be a little bit less than this because it's bigger for the subject property. And there's different ways to come up with the suggested list price. It could be the average sold price could be a suggested list price. And if there's no matching model and you have all these different types of properties that are different, you could use the average price per square foot to price the property. And this is in those rural areas. Rural. That's just a strange word. Rural.
Yeah.
I can't get past that. In those areas where properties are a little bit different, there's no exact property. There's no tracks like builder tracks. Everyone just has different homes, right? Different lot sizes. That's where you could use the price per square foot, average price per square foot, to price the property, right? So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is what one of the recent sales looks like. This is the property information. This is a description. You have all these brand new things, brand new paint. There's a deck of whatever, all these things. These are pictures of the property. They have brand new stainless steel appliances. They have brand new kitchen cabinets. They did all this to the property. And then here's the other one, another one, where here's the features of it. There's no description. Here are all the photos. And this one it doesn't look as upgraded. Looks okay. And then here's the last one, features, description, all these great things about the property. And then there's no additional photos for that, so we can't compare it. So the analysis is average sold price is $721,666. Average price per square foot, $787. Average days on market, 60. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, based on this information, are you ready to sit on the market for an average of 60 days if needed? If not, we'd have to price it lower, below market, so that number goes down.
Mhm.
So then when you're sitting with the sellers and their listing presentation, which is the next class next week, hopefully. That's one of the conversations you're gonna have. Hey, how soon do you need to be out of here by? What's your expected, is there a time frame that you have to sell the property, right? Did you already buy a property? Are you using this property to buy another one? Do you need the money from this to buy another one? There's a lot of questions, a lot of things you need to talk about with them. But this number right here, 60 days, that's a lot.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
yeah, so this could be the determination as to how you're gonna price the property, right? If you're going based on price per square foot, you're gonna do calculator here. Based on the 1,098 square feet times 787. Yeah, look at that price. So we're gonna use, because it's a bigger property,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do like, I don't know, 775. Let's try 775 to come up with a better number. So it's gonna be 10, was 998 times 775. 850, that's a little bit better. But it's bigger too, so.
Yeah.
And if this is probably what we're gonna get for it, we could probably list it for 829. I don't know. It seems like all of these got less than what their asking price was originally.
Right.
So maybe in this neighborhood, you don't go that route.
So if you could, persuade them to list at 800,000.
Oh, that would be great,
Great,
right?
right?
Yeah, if you can. But maybe 829,
Yeah.
830. Maybe, who knows, maybe 850. I mean, if they're willing to sit on the market and wait for the right buyer. And again, depending on what the property looks like.
Yeah.
Right? If everything's fully upgraded, yeah, we can get 850 for it because you did all these great things to the property, right? But if it's all original, we're gonna have to list closer to 800, see,
Right.
where we go from there. So there's no exact formula. There's no exact, I mean, everybody wants hey, what's the formula? How can I give an exact number? There's never an exact number. I'm gonna come up with a different price than you're gonna come up with, and you're gonna come up with, right? But it's based on the data that you provide. It's the data you provide and the condition of the property. And how do you put a number on the condition of the property, right? Some people think I spent $250,000 in upgrades, so I can list it $250,000 more than their last sale. No, you can't. You can't. You're not going to get that money back. Not all of it, right? Maybe it's stuff you should have did along the way. Because I'm sure many homeowners have spent about that much money over the years, not all in one shot, but over the years. That doesn't mean that they're going to get $250, $250 more than what the market is, right? So
I have a good question on
Yes.
this. So this is what I took in the small room.
Mhm.
Do you think it's pretty accurate, like repair estimate? Or do you have any separate sheet that put together those numbers?
I found something that I had ChatGPT come up with for me.
Oh, okay.
I'll look for it to see. Well, yeah, where it tells you like how much it would cost, how much more like a new kitchen adds value to the property. You can add an extra $10,000-$15,000 more, right? But you're not going to get the whole 80,000 that you spent on the property.
Right.
So yeah, there's certain value that new upgrades add to the property.
Mhm.
But again, it's not, you're not going to get the entire amount.
So if they want to sell it as is, but then if they need to persuade them, like if they do kitchen repair, like with 10,000 budget, $10,000 budget.
See, here's the thing, like if you have offers and then the buyer wants you to like upgrade, there's a request for repairs. It's like repair this, not I want upgrades. That's not what it's for. You can negotiate a credit, if you're a buyer, but you can't negotiate, hey, I want you to give me a whole new kitchen.
No.
That's not what it's for.
Got it.
And then is it even going to be complete? Let's say they agree to it. Let's say that the seller agrees to redo the whole kitchen. Is it going to be done in 30 days?
Right.
Close of escrow?
Probably not.
No. Yeah. So usually they'll give them a credit, if they want towards closing costs or reduction in price or something, right? So actually, let's go and look to see what the tax records think that we should list it at. Wow, they're pretty generous here.
What does it say? I can't see.
878, 600,
Oh, wow.
but the value is higher than it should be, I think, between 825 and 850. I think is what a good number would be. But let's look at
RPI.
RPR, see what RPR says. Realtor property resource. Oh, did I already know? I didn't have it open. I'm going to enter the AP number because it's easier. All right, so 55121. And then select this as an AP number. Click on the property. And this is better. Yeah. See, sometimes it does a good job. And that's about what we came up with close to, right?
Yeah.
So we have some validation here. Do you guys have any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
Carlos,
Yes.
would you mind if you download the CMA PDF and send to me? I want to check if kind of your settings and my settings and kind of remove something it does not need it. So yeah.
Let me do this. I'm gonna go to edit here. Sorry. Wait, there should be an edit button here.
Maybe customize on top.
Yeah, let's go to customize. So Mi Young, do this. Do this. Take a screenshot of this right here. All this.
Okay,
This is
hold on
what
a
I'm
second.
using. It's everything in this white area here is what I'm using. Title page, contact, all this stuff here. That would be much easier than looking through the whole PDF because you don't know which pages I included. But by looking at this, you know exactly what I included.
Okay, hold on a second, please. Control.
Jeez. You got it?
Oh, no,
you can take a picture on your phone too.
I'm actually taking my photo using my phone, but
one other thing I wanted to bring up too is Zillow. What the Zestimate is.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting down with the owner of the property and they said Zillow said my home is worth this much, you should be ready.
Right.
So you want to look up the Zestimate in Zillow. Mayan, did you get that?
not yet.
Okay, because I'm going to switch over to another tab.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's go to, I'm going to type out the property address. And then the first link is probably going to be Zillow. So California, and then so usually the first link is Zillow. So I'm going to click on that. And it's going to tell me the Zestimate is 816. Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Not bad.
Yeah. So they're going to expect to list it lower. So that actually helps you in this situation.
Right.
Again, the condition of the property is a question here, but that's not a bad number. But sometimes Zillow gives you a number that's way off, but that's not bad. It's a good number to tell them, hey, we can start at this.
Right.
All right. So I think that is everything that I wanted to talk about. So what you guys might want to do is just look for look for a property. Maybe you're driving down the street, or maybe you know somebody that owns a property, and just practice. Practice doing a CMA on someone's property, your own property or someone that you know, and just look up the value, and maybe email them and say, hey, do you want to know how much your property's worth? I just did a CMA on it. This is how much it's worth. Just for your knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Did this for you just for free. Just because I like you. Okay. So we're going to stop there. We actually did a pretty good time here. And we will see you guys next week. Oh, by the way, on Tuesday, I'll be sending out an email probably tomorrow, but on Tuesday, for the meeting, we're having Richard's going to do an RPA class. So it's great for you guys to sit in on the purchase agreement class. And he's going to go over and explain what all the sections are in the purchase agreement. And then we've gone over just doing filling out a sample, not even listing or purchase agreement, filling out a purchase agreement. But he's going to go through and explain what each section is. So gets you more clarification, and you really wanted to know every single thing about it. So get ready for it. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.